Isn't it just great to be alive and in Scotland and in Edinburgh, the capital of the best wee country in the world? Now, I say that not as a boast, I'm just reminding you that one of Alex's predecessors spent a fortune getting a PR company come up with that slogan. But actually it was the best small country in the world. We ditched it because it was too much of a boast then, and it'll still be too much of a boast until we make Scotland the best wee country in the world. Great to be on the side of the angels just for once. Now that is not to infer anything at all about the folk who aren't here, who are our fellow Scots, because I love them just the same, with exceptions. But just remember, the day after the independence vote, whether it's win, lose or draw, they're still our fellow Scots. They're still our fellow Scots.
Yeah.
And we'll still have to work alongside them, and we'll have to rebuild alongside them.
Yes!
I'm an independent, you see. I get to be nice about everybody. So I'm just asking everyone here, think about this. Alex talked about the numbers of people who support independence, and the PA is even now reporting that people in the march have said that they've changed their mind in the last year. If a third of Scots believe in independence and want independence now, every one of us has got 2 years to persuade another one Scot, and then we're home and dry. As you know. And it would be, for me, an honour to be able to stand here in a couple of years' time, if I'm invited back, that is, and say, well, I'll tell you who it was I persuaded, because there's a number of candidates I've got in mind. See that Mr. Darling?
No chance.
Oh, don't boo him.
No, boo him.
There's always room for sinners to repent. And I wouldn't name some other names, but I think you would mock the afflicted, so I'm not going to. But we can laugh about it and enjoy it, because life goes on. And you should remember that when you're persuading your one person that you've selected as victim. Talk to them in their ground, stand where they're standing, see it from where they see it. What is it that I'm worried about? That we couldn't possibly pay the high unemployment rate that they pay. Have you ever heard anything like it? You can't be independent because you want to still be getting unemployment benefit from us. That's a signal of failure. That's an admission on the part of the government that they haven't got it right. About you couldn't possibly leave the embrace of Mother England or Greater Britain or Bitter Britain, whatever it's called. Instead of putting up with that, tell them they've got a brass neck expecting you to commit your children and their children to a steadily diminishing state. Not a crashing failure, but steadily diminishing all the same. Policy, incidentally, the SNP were daft to talk about defence policy. I'll tell you why after. But when they say that you couldn't possibly have a defence policy, do you know that they've got to hire in Nimrods to do the reconnaissance of our fleet, fishing fleet and fishing grounds and oil reservoirs just now? Do you know that? They haven't even got the planes to do it themselves. And they send soldiers and they send men to foreign parts to fight wars that are very dubious and in some cases definitely illegal. for the SNP to say, oh, here's the policy. Don't forget, when you're talking to that one person, that after the independence vote has been won, then the party politics come back into play. And we don't know who will be the party in power. So therefore, we don't know exactly what the policy will be. We can find out what the principle is beforehand, but you don't know all the fine details. So, oh, you're absolutely right, but no to NATO. Now, there might be some people in here today who disagree with us, but it's not a deal breaker if you think that we should stay in NATO, because there'll be plenty of room to decide after independence exactly what route we're taking. And although I'm very pleased to see some flags from Europe that I recognise from 30 years ago from similar marches, I don't think there's only one way to be part of Europe. And I think that Scots should be made aware of it, that there'll be a choice to make. We don't need to be in the EU, and we certainly don't need to be in the Euro. This is where the organisers wondered if they were wise to invite me. However, I am an independent. I'm here to encourage other people that this referendum is not about parties. It's about every single Scot. It's about you and me and this one down here that wants to stay in NATO or something. I'll put up with you, brother, if you put up with me. But it's our referendum. It will be our independence decision to make. I sincerely hope that Scotland finds the courage to do what Scotland really wants. And I believe that in my heart of hearts. Because even the folk who are opposite us in Parliament just now, picking up wee itsy bitsy points, dancing on them, trying to inflame them, to make them a big argument against independence. A lot of them have doubts too. Don't forget that when you're talking to them. They're in a party and they've got their party politics at the moment mixed up with what should be entirely personal and should be principled rather than party political.
Exactly.
I'm glad to hear that some of these ideas on containing drink are taking root. However, I've said my piece. I'm so happy to have been here today. I'm very, very proud to have been here. And you're meant to leave when you're still ahead. Thank you.